everybody. We're back with another episode of The Latest Thread. Today, we are going to talk about another technique, just like when we did the paint. We're going to talk about another technique you can have fun with on your long arm, and that is couching. So we are going to share some projects that we each did on our long arms with some couching, with the couching foot, or maybe not with the couching foot, depending on what you have at home. So let's get started.
All right, let me share the pics for us.
So I gave this project some thought, going in all different directions. Should I applique something and then couch around it? I mean, you can go in all kinds of directions. But then I thought, no, I'm going to use the elevate and couch the design itself. And what I found that you have to slow down when you stitch out an entire design like that and want to make sure. I did use the couching foot for that. And yeah, you know, you have to slow down your machine in order for it to catch in all the sections. Mine missed in a couple small spots, but that was okay. I secured it after. But so I kind of like that design.
Yeah, because like to stitch that without the elevate, you'd be like, ugh.
Oh my gosh.
It'd be like a brain breaker. Yeah.
What kind of yarn did you use? It's very cool. What kind of yarn did you use?
You know, just something I've had. Um, it's not chenille. It's just something else that was fluffy enough to fill the entire foot. And then I wanted to quilt it, and I'm not a math person, so I kind of had to take my chalk pen because where those square spirals are, I wanted it to create a specific design going around. Um, and luckily it worked out. And did pebbles in the other sections and a swirl fill around. And I did add, I was thinking because I wanted to bind it because it's going to go on my wall. And I was going to use black, but then I really am glad that I used the teal for the binding to pull it all together.
And one, it makes that yarn pop even more,
Yeah.
I think.
It
Very
does.
cool.
Very nice.
Okay.
This is mine, and I just started with this plain old piece of fabric. And I just wanted to accentuate because to me that lighter thing part is the background, I guess. So then I just did all the quilting first because I didn't want to have to stay within the couched thing. So I just stitched the lines, and then I kind of screwed up, but it's all right.
Where?
And then I decided to just go. I had a sparkly yarn that was thick, and I was going to use that, but then I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I'm not that sparkly. And I just chose gray.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really more of like a textural thing instead of something you actually see. And at least I got to use that yarn because it's wool. I don't know why I ever bought it, what I thought that
You gotta make yourself
I was gonna do, but it worked for this.
Well, and I want other people to hear that. You said you messed up, and we can all sit here and stare at it and try to find your mistake, and I don't see a mistake.
See it either.
Well, I wanted there to be a break between the two feather things, but then I kind of, yeah.
Well, you did it with the couch.
And I wasn't going to rip, it's fine.
No. Very cool.
It's very cool. I like it. This is mine. And this is one of the, well, again, I have a running theme of I need to use the things that I have. This was a little kit that I had. It's one of those McKenna Ryan kind of landscape or animal things. So I put this all together. and then it needed just a little bit more. So on the mane of the horse there, I couched, and that yarn was pretty thick, and it worked really well to give the mane of the horse some definition. And then also those little chicks at the bottom needed to be shown. So this actually is a cotton yarn, just like that cotton yarn that you would make a dishcloth with if you were a knitter. And it kind of, the way when it was couched down, it kind of split a little bit while I was doing it. But that just made those little chicks be fluffier. So I thought
Did you go in
it worked well.
circles? Did you go in circles?
Yes, I did. I just made little circles all over those little chicks
I
to make
love
it
it.
all fluffy and puff up.
It
So
makes you want to
Cool.
touch it.
They look great.
Very creative, Jeannie.
And then
Oh,
this is the
nice.
finish here. And you can see I didn't get a picture while I was doing it, but also on the rooster's tail there. And that's just a wool yarn that was variegated, but it worked really well. It doesn't show as well in this picture as it does when you actually see it, but because of the variegation and how close it was to the background. But it looks really nice in
I
person.
like how it's only on certain pieces. It really pulls your eye around that, the piece, because it's not everywhere, because that would be too much. That's really cool.
Right.
It is.
That is.
Really cool. So this is mine. I did a little doodle and then I enlarged it. I use block posters all the time, and you just tape them together and it works. And then traced it out. Here's after I did all the stitching. And I kind of find it neat. Some of us couch first and some of us couch after. And there's no right or wrong. I just found that really cool. So there it is with the background stitched. And then this, I didn't use my couching foot because this yarn, as you can see, is real thin. It's more like a hand embroidery, but it's flat. So I just stitched straight through it. And there it is.
That open toe foot was helpful. Oh, very nice. Wow.
That's
The
cool.
open toe foot was
Great.
Yeah, the open toe foot's great until you're going backward. And then you're like, well, we're just winging it now.
Suddenly can't see.
So, yeah,
Very cool.
Very cool.
I think for the thin threads like that and yarns, it's easier to do it without the foot, just because you can see it. You have to see it because you have to be sure you catch it.
Well, and the other, I don't think I would have been able to see the edge of the fabric and my quilting through the couching foot. So yeah. So sometimes the couching foot's great, and sometimes manual couching is great.
Well, and using these threads, what's the one called? Is it Razzle Dazzle? That's nice and thick. It's awesome. If you ever make a quilt where you're going to have to keep backtracking, I'll quilt that first, and then you can use that to hide that, right? Plus it adds a whole nother element to your quilting.
Yeah. Okay.
This is mine. So I love stained glass. And my husband happened to have a projector. So we used the projector to get it the size I wanted. So I traced it all out with water soluble, which didn't matter because I ended up pressing it anyway. And those are all my little pieces. So all the fabrics are fused. And that was my little map. And then I took the piece and put it on top of my background fabric, stitched around the edge, and then trimmed it away. So I didn't have to piece a background. I just put it on top of it. And then there's little black, it's kind of a velvety chenille, which was very slippery. There were a couple places that didn't catch, but I went around it, went through my couching foot fabulously.
So that's what you used instead of stitching down your raw edge. You just went with the couching.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Good.
Oh, wow.
Oh, very nice.
And there's my little stained glass. It's gonna get
Very pretty.
bound and hung in my little stairway gallery.
Very
Really
nice.
pretty.
Nice.
So that was fun to do.
Okay, so this is my hot mess. Um, Most of my quilts, I have half of an idea and I figure out the rest as I'm working on it. So I knew that my couching, I wanted to do like a modern line drawing, and I didn't know what that was going to be yet. I didn't know if it was going to be a flower or a dog or what it was going to be. So I started with the background and I just sort of cut my a piece of paper the size of my project and just drew some wavy lines through it. And that's the three different pieces that I was going to use as my background. So I cut these pieces out and cut out my fabric, and then I appliqued the dark side and the light side to that center medium piece. And I don't have a picture of it before I quilted it, but
We get caught
quilting,
up in the creating and we forget to document.
that's right. You know, and two, it was probably in the middle of the night and I was tired when I did this and just completely forgot. But when I quilted it, I quilted each section a little bit differently, and I knew I wanted to separate the three different sections. So I did that half-inch echo and then echoed that again with a of an inch and then put those feathers in there. And I knew I wanted something textural in the background, but not overpowering, that when I put that couching on top, it was distracting. So I was looking online for some line drawings and I found these three flowers that were really, really pretty. And I spent about an hour digitizing the design on the Statler and playing around with the nodes to get it just right. And then I stitched it out.
Very
And this, the yarn that I used was the 100% acrylic yarn that you use to knit hats with, that really thin yarn. And it fit through the couching foot, but not completely. So I knew that I had to go very, very slow and guide that yarn in the direction that it was stitching for it to catch. I mean, I had my machine set to stitch at 1% speed, which is very, very slow. But it really makes, a difference when all that yarn is caught. And I think it turned out really, really cool.
It is.
It's very elegant.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's really nice.
Well, it's like the two worlds colliding, the minimalism of the line drawing with the quilting behind it,
Yeah.
Yeah, the contrast, between the two is just so stark, but yet it looks like it belongs there. So
I think we have a close up too.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
we
I
do.
remember.
Yeah.
very cool.
It is.
Very cool.
I had a lot of fun with this.
Well, all of those are very different projects, and hopefully you gained some inspiration to try something maybe that you already have and you didn't even realize what you could do with it.
Yeah.
So pull out all of those things that you have hiding in your closet and play with them a little bit, and just play with whatever yarn you have, or whatever, as Karen used, very thin thread, it'll still work. You should have fun with those kinds of projects for your long arming. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.